And we are off and running, folks. This is going to be 5 laps wide open into a mandatory competition caution, then 4 laps to a checkered flag, and they are off and running.
And Bill Hines, like he did at Toronto early this year after another pole position, has just disappeared. He's left Sean Richardson and Craig Dontis to battle out for 2nd and 3rd position to head down to treacherous turn 4 for the first time.
Well, the world gym driver, Bill Hines, he loves this track. Last year was the first time ever in Stadium Super Trucks he's ever led a lap. He led 3 laps last year. Now he's out in front again. Oh, trucks all kinds of sideways in the air as the pack goes wild off the Petters ramp. In the back, Matty Brabham. Matty Brabham, you saw him earlier today, Matt. He was flying front and really low. They made some changes to the suspension and things. We'll see if that makes a difference for him today.
That clip has lit up social media deluxe this afternoon here at Surfers Paradise. We moved the wall across to the inside of the circuit there through the Virgin Australia chicane side as they come down to the run alongside the beach. The sharp left-hander, but a Pennsylvania's own Bill Hines aboard the World Gym Australia entry will lead us down with UK-born Australian but living in America. If you can keep up with me, yep. Sean Richardson.
Sean Richardson, Ironhead out there running very well. He had some problems in practice. He talked to Rowdy, he talked to myself, he talked to Sheldon Creed. What am I doing wrong on the jumps? And then we made some adjustments to the truck, so hopefully that's going to work out for him. And right now you're on board the Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000 KTM sponsored Toby Price. That's what you usually see Robbie Gordon running. Oh, Price. Oh. He gets into Nolan pretty hard, moves Nolan out of the way, he makes it stick. This is Super Trucks, Nolan's used to the Utes. Some aggressive driving, but here, it's almost frowned upon if you pass somebody without hitting them.
Exactly.
So Nolan moves back a spot right there. You're on board with the Mingay colors, the Castrol Edge Hot Wheels Mingay truck of Robbie Gordon, flying the colors for Matt Mingay. One of our greatest buddies ever. He's not able to be in the truck yet, but he's here and he's cheering on his now teammate, Robbie Gordon.
Oh, Craig Dontis is really applying the pressure, and he's got the job done. He takes PJ Jones with him, son of the legendary Parnelli Jones, former Indianapolis 500 winner. And here we go, Sean. This is what we expected. They're stacking up down here at turn 4.
Well, you know, PJ Jones starting off in the 5th position. Usually Jones is in the back. He's fast. For these guys starting all the way in the back of the pack that get a good chance to win this race, PJ Jones, I'm going to be surprised if we don't see him out in front within the next lap or so and starting to check out on the pack.
But Hines is doing a great job here. As we got a spinner as Richardson's gone again. It stacked the field up.
I believe it was Dontis in the Clipsal 500 truck drive straight through that chicane, blows it all out. Sean Richardson goes into a full-on mid-race freestyle expression there. So now we're going into, I believe they're going to go into a caution and set that back up to keep the speeds down on that jump. We try not to jump them over 70, 80 miles per hour. Here's the replay.
Oh, through it goes. He just nudged it. And he got the box set going through. He's moved him out of the way. Good thing they're not full of water, as they normally would be for roadworks. And Richardson, for the 2nd time today, has spun truck number 12. He'll go to the back.
Here we are on board right now with Bill Hines. Dontis. Nope, that is actually Sarah Price. Oh, we see Sean Richardson. I don't know if he got some help going around there or how that had happened.
That's Sarah Price on the inside.
Sarah Price, we're on board with Toby Price, no relation. No.
He clipped that barrier or just hit the brakes too hard?
I don't know exactly what happened there. I think he just made a mistake and ended up spinning around. So now, let me tell you how I think this is going to play out with race control and Cams and Jason Smith and USAC. We are supposed to have a mandatory competition caution after lap number 5. Now, however, you know, we've got a certain amount of time that this race is supposed to run. This may possibly be considered that mandatory comp caution, and time will tell here. And they were told in the drivers' meeting, those makeshift chicanes, those plastic barriers, if you hit those and take those out, not only are you getting a stop-and-go penalty, which should be awarded to Dontis, as we see right here. She's on board. And Sean Richardson, he just goes all around all himself. Dontis blows straight to a lot of carnage right there, but Dontis should be getting awarded a penalty for that.
It's the eyes of Bill Hines. So you wouldn't go for 2 cautions in this period now anyway?
I don't think they're going to. No, this is going to be a call that's going to be made from race control, and I don't think they will. You know, as long as they have the time to get all the laps in, possibly. But they're not going to cut laps in order to bunch the pack back up again. So it'll be interesting to see how Cams and USAC, who work so well together, what kind of decision they make here. Right there, really cool shot of these trucks.
Judging by the way turn 4 was going, then it doesn't need to be controlled again.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying before, you know, they were told you're going to be penalized for hitting those plastic chicanes. Those are there to slow the trucks down and mainly for safety, so they're not wrecking trucks and so that we're not hurting an engine or driver or what have you. They can't hit these 100 miles an hour. They hit them 70, 80 miles an hour. Look at the hang time they're getting just at those speeds, you know? So those barriers are there to control the safety of the race. And so when they move them out of the way like that, something has to give, and it's either you know, breaking trucks or throwing a caution and fixing them. So they threw a caution, getting the track back together again. This is going to be a single file rolling restart here with Bill Hines in front. Looks like Greg Gartner, PJ Jones in P3, Paul the Dude Morris in P4, Sarah Price rounding out the top 5. And right now, Sheldon Creed, he's made his way up just a couple of spots. So Price hasn't made up too much. Brabham, though, has gone all the way from 12th position up to 6th right now. So impressive lap and a half.
He was hanging back there in the initial couple of laps as they stack up behind Bill Hines. He got on the gas a little bit, leaving the final turn. The World Gym Australia entry, of which they're opening up a brand new facility here in Surfers Paradise.
So cool.
And Mike Niston, the owner, is here this weekend once again, a guy that you and I certainly wouldn't mess with.
Oh, Big Mike, he's a bad man.
He's huge.
Good dude, real good dude, but he gave us a tour of the new gym, and it's gonna be awesome. Here we are, and running around. Bill Hines still out front, like I said, he loves this track, he loves this circuit. Only place he had led last year, and now he is back out to lead again. Oh, Greg Gardner, Smiley goes to the inside. Hines skips the curve there. Might get a penalty, that one, for Bill Hines skipping the curve. Greg Gardner out in front, PJ Jones diving into P2, makes a clean pass. Bill Hines goes wide there.
It's Price. It's Price, and that's the other Price of
Price
Toby
on
Brody.
right. Toby Price says the price is wrong, Siri. You just spun out in front of me and jacked up the whole program.
How do I know you were going to say that?
As there you see, Matthew Brabham's got his hood all pushed up on his blue Traxxas truck. So he is making through the pack quickly as they're spread out right away due to Sarah Price spinning out there. I don't know if she had any assistance there or not, or if she spun out all on her own. And there is Toby Price, parts falling off his truck from that contact back there with Sarah Price earlier. Sheldon Creed makes easy, slick work right there of Bill Hines.
Slicing his way through the field. So this is how it happened down the bottom. Watch mid-pack. Dontis, Hines, and that was Sarah Price spinning around. Toby Price nowhere to go. Ditto that for Robbie Gordon.
Oh, boy. So a mistake on her own there. You don't see that very often, Sarah. Not a lot of seat time in these trucks. So we're on board, looking at Robbie Gordon and just nowhere to go.
That's a sudden stop.
I'm sure if we stayed on that a little bit longer, you would have seen at least some hand gestures from Robbie Gordon.
Oh, Dontis just scattering the fans who are right up close and personal with the fence.
Dontis all over the place out here in his debut in Stadium Super Trucks. These are not like any other vehicle, and Greg Gartner will tell you that. He's raced with us now 5-6 times, and he'll tell you, these are a handful to race right there. And so pretty violent landing there for Greg Smiley Gartner. Now you see the hood coming up on the Castrol Edge Hot Wheels truck of Matt Mingay, piloted today by Robbie Gordon. It's Robbie Gordon getting sucked into an accident back there. Still a lot of race left to go. Get through the pack right now. He's right behind Toby Price. Toby Price goes to the inside of Bill Hines. Can he make it stick? Follows the boss right behind him. To get by Hines. Hines drops back in the World Gym truck. So right now, Toby Price, Robbie Gordon moving up through the pack right now. So doing quite well. Paul Morris has dropped all the way back to 12th position. Gartner out front, Jones, Creed as the last time they were over the timing loop.
So Gordon's just allowing Price to be the truck mover at the moment, as now he gets out of shape, and this will allow Gordon to go down the inside now, you'd think, side by side in the usual colours that Matt Mingay would drive. Matty's here this weekend watching on. The man who had success here in Indy cars back in the day moves up another position and now sets sail for the leading guys.
Right now, and you know, Robbie Gordon, he's doing everything he can. Oh, and we got Dontis pulling. Dontis, I don't know, maybe has truck problems. He probably had to have that hood ripped off so that he could see where he's going. He's still got a handful of laps to go, and that's a long ways to go when you got that hood up in front of you.
Confirming there will be no competition caution. We've now had that, so it's a run home from this point, and there is the Bonnet Off the Clipsal 500 sponsored truck, of which Craig's got a lot to do with the organising side.
Absolutely. Craig, Nathan Kaiser, all these guys, a lot to do with Super Trucks, a lot to do with that race in Adelaide as well. Here is the replay Right now you see Toby Price, look at that truck work. Dantas goes way to the outside, says, I'm not hitting that Toyo Tires jump right now. I can't see where I'm going. Robbie Gordon as well, landing behind him. Now, it's funny, every year here, we have 3 races, and every year on race number 1, these guys just tear the trucks apart. I think they're just so wound up being here in Surfers and having to wait all day, being the last one out. You know, Saturday and Sunday be racing just before V8 Supercar, but waiting all day long, these guys are going crazy in the paddock. They just want to get out and drive, and then they get out here and just tear these trucks to pieces.
Greg Gartner is going to have a big welcome to Stadium Supertrucks. We know he's raced before, but Sheldon Creed, who has 10 race wins to his name, is not going to let this one go by easy as Gartner goes wide for the 2nd time, and Creed will have a better run down to this left-hander.
Oh, it looks like we might be getting into lap traffic right there. Creed makes it happen. Paul Morris definitely has a broken truck because the dude runs up front. That's the way that is, so he's got to have a broken truck. He's just out there running for points right now.
Replay further back. This is Richardson and Sarah Price.
Oh.
Spinning pretty much back into the pit area there, just graces against the Queensland tyre barrier.
We see again right now, not touching Richardson, I don't think. Getting on the binders a little hard. Richardson get through nice and clean. Sarah starts to spin out right there. Luckily, it's a tire wall, not a concrete wall right there. Sarah running it pretty hard here this afternoon. You know, like I said, a young woman, she doesn't have a ton of time in these trucks, and she is going to be a superstar in Stadium Super Trucks, just like she has in everything else she's done on the 2 wheels and the side-by-sides and everything. But it's just going to take a little bit of seat time to get used to these street courses.
More known for her expertise in motocross, former factory KTM racer back in the days. And now aboard a Stadium Super Truck. Through they come now, lap 7 of 10. Paul Morris just pulls to the side. Stay on board with Toby Price as the skin just starts to peel away from Robbie Gordon's number 2. Spent some time walking the track with him this morning. Very, very happy with the way this series is going. And he just says the quality of the Australian guys is just about perfect right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talent here. And sadly enough, this race right now, with the dude being with a broken truck and different things, it's not showing it, but a lot of great talent. And when we first started here 2 years ago in Adelaide, the Australian drivers, you know, it was new to them. Now they're catching on to figuring out how to run these trucks. I mean, look at Toby Price right now, running it hard with the boss man. We've got a lot of great super truck talent here, not from just the States, but from Australia as well now. And what great action it makes. As right now, wide open down that section. Robbie Gordon, the Castrol Edge Hot Wheels truck, his hood pushed up over the driver's side. Right now, it's definitely slowing him up because Price is trying to put a move on him, goes to the inside, can't make it stick, so they are back and forth. Great battle for these 2 drivers as they are going back and forth right now.
It doesn't matter who it is. Price is just uncompromising in the way he races. He took this like a duck to water. His dad, John, was an off-road buggy champion in this part of the world. He won Dakar this year, and he's doing great things in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks on the back of a guy who created this series 3 seasons ago.
And look at them, 2 of them back and forth. Robbie Gordon might be thinking right now, you know what, I've helped Toby Price out maybe too much.
Yeah.
Just too much, because now I can't shake the guy.
Yep.
So, but you know, it's no secret that, you know, anything Toby Price is racing, he's going to do a great job at it. You know, it just takes a matter of time to figure it out. And right now it's proving that as we're on board right now with Robbie Gordon, right behind him, Toby Price. Great race for these 2. So we got Hot Wheels and Articat back and forth. Castrol Edge and KTM battling back and forth for these 2 guys. Great battle thus far.
Down to the hairpin. Creed has got a good margin, only 5 seconds as Bill Hines gets some serious airtime. He caught up with his old mate Alex Prema during the week.
Yeah.
At the Norwell Motorplex.
If he hits that any faster, he's going to land right on top of the location of the New World Gym right downtown here. There's some big air for Bill Hines.
Bit of banter going on between he and Paul Morris. Morris posted a picture this morning of the new site being built saying, "Can't find you, Bill Hines."
Constantly. These guys do enjoy messing with each other nonstop. If you come over to the paddock and just kind of listen in a little bit, the banter never ends with these guys.
It's incredible. Down into the section that brings you off the beach. We're on board with Toby Price. That's your leaderboard. 5 seconds, better part of 6 between Creed and PJ Jones, and Matt Brabham up to 3rd place from the back of the field. And this battle between Gordon and Price in the closing stages of race 1 of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas here at Surfers Paradise.
You know, I've got to think I've got to think that that hood being up in front of Rodney Gordon is not helping anything. Toby Price goes around all on his own. He is not going to be happy with that. What a great effort he was putting in there. And if anything, he was learning a lot. Learning a lot from watching the commander-in-chief of SST right there, staying behind him, picking lines and how to run the truck. So hopefully he'll use that as a learning experience and leave here today saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to be faster tomorrow than I was today.
Absolutely. Down to one. Look at Brabham pushing PJ Jones to the limit. The man who's brought up in the suburbs of Torrance, California. That's a tough part of the world to grow up in.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And two open-wheel guys here, you know, in the Stadium Super Truck. Sheldon Creed out in front. He's more of an off-road guy. These two guys had a very similar upbringing. You know, oh, Matty Brabham, all kinds of sideways, gets into the fence. Real hard right there.
That same spot where Dontis did the same thing. The fans against the fence, it might be going, we might just stand 4 or 5 foot back now.
Maybe keep us up a couple steps back right there. get more than you bargained for. You know,
wow.
As you see right now, PJ Jones still looking good. Matty Brabham is not giving up. I thought the way Brabham hit that wall, being a concrete wall, that he might have broke something in the truck, but that wasn't the case. So right now, good right here, Sarah Price. Bill Hines, they are teammates, not identical trucks this weekend, but they are United Fiber and Data teammates still this weekend, along with Paul and Morris, all three of them racing under the UFD tent.
It's Matt Nolan.
Get through the chicane.
So Nolan's behind these guys, 3 abreast going across the top here. 2 laps to go here at Surfers Paradise, as Hines, who started from pole position, is now in 7th. Sarah Price in the second of the Super Cheap Auto Trucks is now the dude gets alongside to let the teammates go through. Good driving, goes down the escape road and lets them get on with the race.
Yep, Paul, it looked like dude was trying to get back up on the gas again there with his broken truck. You saw smoke coming off those DOT Toyo tires there. He said, you know what, I'm just going to pull in off the runoff here, let my teammates through. Bill Hines, World Jim, right there. Sarah Price right behind him. Super Cheap Auto backing Sarah Price here this weekend at Surfers Paradise. And there's Greg Gartner. Batteries right there. Gartner getting a little sideways here. Remember last year, Gartner two-wheeled off one of the ramps, flew right into the wall. Wild ride for him, as it was in Olympic Park last year also. Sheldon Creed, all alone, just keeps it out of the wall. You know, he's that far out in front, but he just won't lift. You see Creed right now.
Dontis just following him around. He's actually a couple of laps down now, so that's the gap now, 1st to 2nd.
That's a big gap, and we don't see that hardly ever in Stadium Super Truck racing. Anything more than about a second and a half is absolutely huge. But Dontis, being smart, he's a race car driver. We see him in the Utes. He does well. He competes with the best in the class. But right now, I think he's doing the smartest thing he can. He doesn't have to worry about second place behind him. He's not holding up the pack. But what he is doing is going to school. And I hope he brought a pad and a pencil right now, because he's taking notes from the best in the business. Stadium Super Trucks as Sheldon, the showstopper Creed, takes a checkered flag in race number 1 here in Surfers Paradise.
11th win of the season for him. It's not over here for 2nd and 3rd as they come through. Brabham trying something here at the closing stages, finds the wall, and PJ Jones will get 2nd here. A wild finish.
Brabham here in his hometown in Surfers. He said he was going to be pushing it. Had a lot of family, a lot of friends here, and he wasn't lying. Matty Brabs really getting to it, having a great battle there with PJ Jones. What a wild ride.
The 19-year-old chalks up another win. He turned 19 recently and celebrates in style and kicks off the final Australian round of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks with a win here. Here's the replay, 2nd to 3rd. Watch the Traxxas truck, 83 in the background. He's got the back of PJ Jones, and that sent him towards the wall.
Doing everything. The wall was there to help him out. Without the wall, I don't believe he would have collected it, and I'm not taking anything from Matty Brabham and his ability to drive that truck. But that wall helped right there, kept him spinning around one more time. Wild ride for Matty Brabham.
I think Jason Smith is going to need a lay down, our man from USAC, watching that from race control. But Sheldon Creed, it was one of the biggest margins, if not the biggest margin, in Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks history. 12 seconds between he and PJ Jones. Matt Brabham, 3rd. Greg Gartner was 4th, his best result ever in the series. Robbie Gordon was next. Toby Price in 6th. Then Richardson, Bill Hines, Sarah Price, and Matt Nolan on his debut this weekend. Dantas with the hood missing off the front of the 45 truck, and Paul Morris with issues aboard the second winner here as we go green for race number 2 here on the streets of Surfers.
Now this is going to be a wild race. Granted, we don't have any big accidents. This is going to be 3 laps wide open green, then into a mandatory competition caution, then 3 laps again, mandatory competition caution. That'll be the second of 2. Then 4 laps to the checkered flag, total of 12 laps. So it's going to be set up to keep this pack tight and be a wild race.
Settling through the first turns as Paul Morris will lead us down. So a bit of a change up in our grid from what we did see on the screen, but does mix it up as we see PJ Jones side by side with Creed at the back. Great to have the second-gen racer in the field. His first look at the streets of Surfers Paradise. And Bill Hines for World Gym Australia at the pointy end of the field.
Sheldon Creed and PJ Jones. Sheldon in that red Traxxas number 1. PJ Jones in the Royal Purple number 30. Both side by side off that jump, getting all kinds of crooked. So they've got a battle of their own. A lot of fast talent in the back. Bad news for all those guys. Paul the Dude Morris, who is also a talented winning driver in Stadium Super Trucks, he started up front. That's going to be the job to catch Paul and to pass Paul. That's not an easy thing to do.
Absolutely not. Not around here. It's his home track. You see the 45, driver change in that after the incident earlier today. Coming down into that sharp right. We switch back to the left-hand side here, looking back. Everybody safely through. The riot act was read this morning. It looks like for a change, they all listened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a riot act to say the least. And then not a driver's meeting, but there was a impromptu driver's briefing called just before this race as well, saying, hey, let's mellow out. We got a whole weekend of racing right there. As you see these trucks up on 3 wheels right there in the Clipsal 500 truck. That is the Dantas truck right there. I believe that is Brad Gillard at the very last minute filling in just a few moments before this race.
Now, the dude's come in. I did see him waving his hands at the start of the race and indicating to the pit wall there's some debris being kicked across the circuit here. So perhaps those issues with the Super Cheap Auto Hungry Jack's entry not entirely cured. And this now moves the 45 up of Brad Gallard, who was scheduled to jump into this truck tomorrow for Craig Dantas, who was going to be overlapping in the Utes race. He had an incident earlier today, and now Gallard, who is really the mind behind it here in Australia, the Gallard from Renmark, is now leading the race.
Yeah, I believe we didn't get the whole thing, but I'm pretty confident that's Brad Gillard in that truck, who has not kind of lapped yet. And now he's out here leading the race. Now, keep in mind, Paul Morris, he just pulled into the pit. He needs to get back out in the lead lap, so when we go into this caution, it'll be all right. Oh, Matty Brabham almost in the wall again. The crowd scattering there. Let's put some pressure on Bill Hines.
Oh, it's on again.
Back into the chicane.
So we've hit the wall. This is exactly what happened last night. Matt Nolan's hood has come loose on the 21 entry. We come to that just as the water barriers just got shoved, so that might bring out this caution again. This is exactly what happened on the same lap yesterday.
It very well may bring out the caution, and I was wondering who exactly hit that. Well, I think it's pretty obvious who hit that right now. As Matt Nolan's hood is flying off. It looks like they're slowing down. They are going to go into a caution right now. And as we mentioned yesterday, the reason, well, let me back up what I'm about to say here. First of all, in that chicane area earlier in practice, we ran through the chicane in the back section without the jump. It's very cool. It's great. However, there's a lot of fans back there, and they want to see high-flying action. So after a discussion, decided to bring it back. Nolan comes in real hot, not even in the ballpark of being able to make it through there. And so here we are on board right now with Toby Price. I believe that is Nolan up in front here.
Get a bit of a push here.
Gives a little push.
Oh, he moves, they bumped.
Now they have to give. You see right there, Toby gave. When they get to that blue bridge, they have to give way to get into that chicane. You cannot pass through it. Well, Toby Price got there, showing him a wheel. Nolan freaked out a little bit, stayed up on the pipe, and then just ran out of an area to brake right there and just ran directly through that chicane. And so now it's going to be interesting. I'm going to say this is most likely going to be our comp caution for the first half of the first part of the race, which is may end up taking some laps away from the race, which is sad to say, but that's what happens. These guys are not to touch those chicanes. Nolan's being pulled in right now. He's going to get a stop-and-go penalty, which is going to put him way to the back of the pack. We are off and running laps 3 of 12.
More than likely, they'll tear the hood off that truck and send him out like we saw with Dantas' truck yesterday. So they've got back underway here, side by side now between Hines and Creed. It's the 45 of Gallard, the Clipsal 500 Adelaide-sponsored entry, which we're heading back to for the season opener in 2017.
Gallard out in front, behind him, Toby Price. Right now we're on board with Robbie Gordon, flying those Matt Menge colors. Robbie gives a little love tap to Sean Richardson, say, hey, here I am, give me some space, I'm coming through. They're sideways for Gallard. Creed all the way from the back of the pack, from starting in 12th position all the way up, I believe, maybe into 2nd place right now. So quick work of the competition in the first 3 laps for Creed.
Across the ramp they go against so many people right there, jammed in, watching the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks here today. We had a great crowd yesterday, and today they are packed in. Watch this amazing category.
You see right now there is Toby Price. He is in between Sheldon Creed and Robbie Gordon right behind him. Most people are going to freak out in that situation, not Price. He is so smart about the way he handles himself out here. We saw yesterday, Robbie Gordon got in front of him, then he just started learning. He wrote out the pad, wrote out the pen, started taking some notes, and just toted them around, just like he did in qualifying. He qualified 2nd today behind Robbie Gordon. Now he's going to be watching the lines of Creed. He's going to be feeling some pressure of Gordon, and if he can keep it together like the Dakar champion normally would, this is going to pay it out for him. It's going to help push him to the front.
Here comes Creed. So Creed's right in the mix here. 11 wins alone this year in the series, a career tally of 24 in a 3-year championship streak. He won the series last year. This is counting towards the overall points, but he could claim the Australian side of things as we come through at the end of lap number 3.
Big air right there down the front stretch. 2 big jumps off that Toyota tire in the Traxxas ramp. Now we're still looking at, it says Dantas, but I believe that is Brad Gillard and Clipsal 500, number 45, Creed, Gordon, Price. Matty Brabham around the top 5. Creed to the inside. Gillard says, absolutely, come on through. I'm not going to mess with you right now. First time in the truck all weekend long. Nice, smart move. Let's Creed get out in front. Now we've got Robbie Gordon. Gordon has moved up. He is now going to be chasing down Brad Gillard and keeping his eyes set on our leader, which is now Sheldon Creed. Now it's going to be weird to see where are we going in this caution. We already had a caution a lap early just a moment ago from Nolan getting into the barriers there. He got a stop and go penalty. So I'm saying we may end up bumping this second caution back a lap or 2 possibly.
Down the inside now, confirmation, it's Greg Gartner in the 45 now. So Gartner goes back to 3rd as we come back to this shot inside. So the 45 goes back to 3rd, and now Robbie Gordon on the charge.
Well, that makes a lot of sense for Gardner. Gardner yesterday finishing 4th in yesterday's race, his best finish in CM Super Trucks. 4th place in this field with this group of guys is an awesome run, awesome run. So Smiley, the happiest guy in racing, Greg Gardner, that makes sense why that Clipsal 500 truck is running so well, because he's up on the gas this weekend. He's running well and running smart right now. He says, listen, man, let's be honest. I don't have anything for Sheldon Creed right now, and I don't have anything for Robbie Gordon, but I do have something for the rest of the pack back here. So he let those guys go through, keep himself out of a wreck that he shouldn't be involved in. Now he's going to run his own race. That's smart racing.
It was pretty impressive last year at Sydney Olympic Park in the first ever race he had, where he went upside down on the main straight. Won the Pines Enduro 400 in South Australia last weekend, so he's had a good 7 days as the Nolan truck just sheds the hood on the Hayman's electrical entry. Heading back down, keeps the engine nice and cool as the competition caution scheduled to come out now. If it's going to happen in the perfect place. Sheds it off and he continues on.
It was almost as if he was hanging on to it right there.
Exactly.
You see right there, Gartner in the Dantas number 45 truck. Look at that, how awesome it is when they land.
So Gartner in board the 45 truck here right now as the competition caution is out here in the Gold Coast. So, the competition caution about to come to an end here at Surfers Paradise in race number 2. And the 2015 champ, the 19-year-old from Alpine in California, has the lead. Sheldon Creed and Robbie Gordon about to go at it once again. These 2 guys the most successful in the 3-year history of this championship. And Gordon aboard the number 2 truck that we'd normally see Matt Mingay in. And Matty is here this weekend, recovering still from that awful incident we had at Detroit earlier this year. Hoping to see that guy back behind the wheel of this truck in the coming races.
I'm feeling very confident. I mean, Matt Mingay, he's just an animal. He's a beast. Yeah, he had a horrible injury and a bad wreck. And but he, of all people, knows, hey, motorsports are inherently dangerous. This is what happened. This is also why I love it, because we're always on the edge. And Mingay, man, he is ready to rock and roll. So Creed leads us down to the green flag at the end of this competition caution.
I'm so happy we got it to the halfway mark, because yesterday the win margin was nearly 13 seconds. And this is why we have this, to keep it nice and compressed. As here comes Creed, and here comes the green flag.
Now, nobody knows motorsports pressure more than Robbie Gordon, and he has some pressure on him right now. Mingay, both Matt and Sheena, the Stunts Inc. crew, Castro, Hot Wheels, what they want to see is that right there. They want to see Robbie Gordon in that truck wide open, just like Matt Mingay would, and taking the lead away from Sheldon Creed as he just did.
That was a little bit too easy for me. Some mind games, perhaps. This is Toby Price just muscling Greg Gardner along, who's now amongst the mid-pack. But Robbie Gordon already checking out, and Brabham is up to second.
Now we are Gordon, Brabham, and Creed. And there you see Toby Price right there getting over into Gardner.
Still on.
Getting through. Oh, they just get through that chicane. PJ Jones in that royal purple truck coming through, getting a little slick right there. Just missing the chicane, grabbing a handful of steering wheel, making it happen. As they drag race down this fast section. Contact in between Richardson and Gardner. Richardson running well. Oh, and Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed's broke. Something has got to happen. You do not see Sheldon Creed drop back like this without something very mechanical happening.
That was too easy, like I said in the beginning. I saw Brabham go past, and now he's had a moment coming off the backside of the beach.
I'm guessing, I don't know for sure. It could be steering again. You know, he thought he lost a steering pump. At the same time, it could have been, air in the lines. It could have been a few different. It could have been the steering rack itself. And without having time, going from practice qualifying right into this race and not much time, you don't have time to change everything and troubleshoot it. So they kind of, threw it up in the air and shot at it, and hopefully they fixed the problem. But maybe that's still the issue with steering.
This is not what he wanted. What a cool shot that is, looking from the grandstand here at Surfers Paradise. That's not good news for Creed, but it's excellent news for Matt Brabham now, because these two guys are battling out for the championship.
I believe we're somewhere only like 51 points, which seems like a lot, but there's still some racing left to go this season. Stadium Super Truck as you're on board right now with Toby Price. Toby Price trying to chase down Sean Richardson. Sean Richardson, no joke this weekend. He started off right off the bat. They went, 10 seconds into the first practice session, and he went over the first jump, spun out sideways. Said, oh boy, it might be a long weekend for Sean, but not at all. He has grabbed hold of what he needs to do in these SSDs. And Ironhead out of the UK, man, he's up on the gas and looking good. Second time out. Townsville now here, so you got to expect big things from him.
He's done amazing stuff in a big career that spans 30 years. He started in grass track racing back in the 80s over in Europe and South Africa. Spends most of his time on a plane if he's not here or in Charlotte or in the UK.
You never know where you're going to see the guy.
Exactly. Pops up at an airport at any time. Here's Matt Nolan getting some serious airtime over the back there at the Virgin Australia chicane.
Got the hood off. He got in the chicane earlier on. Now the hood is off. And you can see when he hit the chicane, look at the mounts from the front bumper, the aluminum mounts. They're made to give so the actual bumper doesn't get wrecked. So just getting in that plastic was a lot of pressure to bend those mounts up.
Amazing machines, these Traxxas trucks that were modeled off the remote control trucks. Bit of a reversal to what we'd normally do with model cars.
See, PJ Jones yesterday, PJ Jones finished in second place in the press conference. He's like, hey man, back in like 93, 94, I raced here in IndyCar, man. I've been here before. I used to love this course. Sheldon Creed says, yeah, I was born that year. And so, pretty funny press conference, but PJ Jones, granted the track was longer, then went further into town, but a similar course, and he loved it then and he loves it now.
Had a list of great drivers. Oh, here's Matty Brabham trying to add to the highlights reel of yesterday.
It's almost like they just pulled from yesterday's high rate and pulled him in here right now with our V8 media team doing such an amazing job getting these shots. That is a wild ride for Matty Brabham, man.
He's going to have the longest neck in history one day. He's going to wake up 35. The neck will be 3 foot tall.
Oh.
As now Richardson gets a shove from the Dakar champ, and this allows PJ Jones to get into the mix.
Both of them sneaking through there. It's almost like Toby said, hey, enough of this, enough of this. Let me give you a little that. Get out of my way, and let me move up forward. And it gave enough room for PJ Jones to get through as well. Someone else has tagged the chicane. I'm wondering if that was caught by USACs and cams up in race control. Someone might be getting assessing a penalty as well.
He's been getting a knock around since practice yesterday morning. They come down off the beach side. So Price, battle marks on here. There's PJ Jones locking. Is he stopping? Was he getting going? There's an issue with the Royal Purple Racing Oils. We've seen a list of great drivers behind the wheel of that truck this year. We had Arie Luyendyk Jr. We had Davey Hamilton have a steer. We also had Robbie Pierce behind the wheel.
Absolutely, a lot of great drivers in here. Oh, Richardson too far to the inside right there. Price, it's hard to see if he was as well. It looks like Price, say, the outside. So Price, maybe that's why Price gave him that bump. It said they were told, hey man, if you cheat that too much, all 4 tires are in there, you gotta, you can't gain ground. You can't gain any speed, you can't gain any ground, you've got to give that back. Richardson maybe didn't, and so Toby Price said, well, since you hadn't, I'm just gonna take it from you. You see him here go through that quick chicane there, go to the front stretch, go over the Traxxas ramp, the fastest name in radio control, that is Traxxas. Exactly what these trucks are modeled after. Then to that Toyo Tires ramp as well, which are the tires on every one of these trucks, front and rear DOT tires. DOT in the States means you buy these tires, put them on your truck, the exact same ones they're racing here. So getting the power to the ground with these Toyo tires as we're on board right now. Oh, Richardson, little smoke coming off his tires right there.
But they're very strong, tough tires.
Oh.
They cop a punishment around here, and they still stand the test.
Well, we just raced the same exact tires last weekend in Mexico, in Baja, Mexico, for the Mike's Peak Hill Climb Challenge, and running through cactus and the desert and rocks and everything. No flats, no issues. Now they're here on the asphalt running again. So, a great product they're putting out right now. A lot of attention on Richardson. Richardson been running well. Great racing going on with a positive automotive, positive trailers truck. Richardson definitely getting faster and faster every time he gets into one of these.
Back to the leaders we go. Matty Brabham with 3 wins so far in this year's Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. Robbie Gordon with just the 1 win that came at Townsville earlier this year. Brabham knows there's a championship on the line. They come down into the little chicane to come past the starter's point once again.
Well, Brabham's going to want to get the passing points. Look at him, 10 deep on the fence there. Waffle bellies pushed up against the fence. You see, Brabham, he wants the passing points. He wants the winning points. He needs to get as many as he can because he knows, hey, Creed's out, man. I don't see him in my rearview mirror, so he must be gone. So Creed's out. I need to get all the points I can.
What's he got for us? Gordon looks good here, though. They come down to turn number 4 on the final lap. So we've gone a couple of laps short here as Gordon gasses it out of turn number 4 past the packed house. Oh, and it's Jones who's come to a stop. That truck was limping. And now he's waiting for the lead guys to go past and perhaps follow them around towards the checkered flag, or maybe just to push it back behind the wall, because that's the pitch just back there.
Absolutely. Right now, the Mingay Racing Team, Stunts Inc., Hot Wheels, Castrol Edge Racing Team looking really good with that number 2 Mingay truck piloted by Robbie Gordon right now. You know, both Matt and Sheena and the whole team there up on their toes right now, cheering on for this win. As Robbie Gordon up on 3, pushing it really hard.
Jones still limping across the track here, and Price just wandering past at a very pedestrian-like pace.
Yeah, that was kind of odd there, but it's kind of hard. You got to get around Jones, figure out, hey, what's going on with him? Why is he parked there? What is the deal? Meanwhile, way out in front right now is Gordon and Brabham. I don't know if Brabham has anything for Gordon here. I mean, we're coming to the very end. Now, you see how sideways and how much smoke is coming off the tires there in Gordon's truck? He's no longer being serious.
Yeah.
He's just messing around right now, having fun. So we're getting ready to come to the checkered flag, Matt Nolte.
And this will be an emotional moment, though. He's gone through an amazingly hard time, Robbie Gordon, the past couple of months, and he wins his 2nd race of the year here on the streets of Surfers Paradise. And that will be a massive weight off his shoulders.
He waves to the crowd. He's been here before. He's ran really well in IndyCar years ago, running really well in his very own Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. So great run for the Hot Wheels Castrol Edge team with Robbie Gordon up on top and the number 2 Mingay truck. Behind him, Matty Brabham in P2. Sean Richardson looks like unofficially in P3. A top 3 for Sean Richardson. How exciting is that? Toby Price. It looks like it's going to be Bill Hines rounding out the top 5. So great finish for Bill Hines. Excellent finish for Richardson. And to see Robbie Gordon back up on top of the box, that doesn't hurt either.
No, exactly right. Gives Matty Brabham a good chance tomorrow at the championship wise. He'll crunch the numbers overnight. He finishes 2nd behind Robbie Gordon in race number 2 here. Richardson, his career best effort. Toby Price, same to him. Then we go back to Bill Hines, Sheldon Creed, and Matt Nolan. And a list of DNFs right behind, including PJ Jones, right down to Morris, who got 1 lap in. Dantas on debut this weekend. The South Aussie, who's hoping to do a lot of races in 2017, is up aboard. The Californian Sarah Price as the green flag waves for the final time here in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas. And we're off and racing. Lots of smoke from a couple of trucks already. What a great shot as we watch them head their way down to turn 1 on lap 1.
Dantas and Price out in front early. That Clipsal 500 truck with Dantas looking good, getting through that section. We saw some of the Utes having trouble in that section. Oh, dude dives to the inside of his teammate. He says, it's Sarah, maybe I'm not going to bump her as I try to pass her here and be cool with it.
Dantas across the first ramp. And Sarah Price going with him right now. Morris is in third, Bill Hines, and Matt Nolan, who's just given up on the idea of running hoods today. Just going to keep that engine cool for the entire 12-lap journey.
Yes, here we go. Now, we've seen some problems there. A couple trucks getting into that barrier. If they get into that barrier, there will be a caution. That is there to slow them down, to keep them at bay off that huge Traxxas ramp right there. So right now, everyone getting through clean, looking good. Robbie Gordon still all the way in the back of the pack, hopefully not having trouble with that truck. As we go into a replay here.
PJ Jones.
PJ Jones.
Contact.
Oh, Creed and Gordon getting to Jones. Jones got in the tires there. We are replay. We're on board with Toby Price in the Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000 sponsored truck. Wow. That was wild of PJ Jones. I'm wondering what happened there. It's like almost like he lost his steering. We know he had a power steering pump issue earlier today in qualifying.
Oh, Brabs.
And wow, Brabham just making it happen. Luckily, that's a soft wall. It's a tire wall right there.
Brakes jammed on hard on the Royal Purple Oils entry. And look at the two trucks behind Creed.
It's Creedy. Here comes Gordon. Boom. Nowhere left to go. That they really couldn't have gotten any luckier right there. Everyone involved.
Totally. Puts Jones to back. As they come through to complete the first lap of 12 around here. So Gordon and Gardner towards the tail end of the field, but it's Dantas. It's Price having to charge down the inside here.
But she's missed the chicane there. She's going to have to give that spot back. Looks like she did already.
That's the dude down the inside.
Dantas to the inside. He's back in the lead. Dude moves up to second place. Oh, the Traxxas teammates both up on 3 wheels as they pass through the pack quickly.
Brabham comes down hard and look at Creed. He's had enough to see to the back already. Even with a couple of competition cautions. Matt Mingay.
Oh, Matty Mingay.
It's all been done, hasn't it?
Matt and Sheena here cheering on their teammate, Robbie Gordon, this weekend, flying the Mingay colors. World Jim, all kinds of sideways. Bill Hines getting some big air right there. Bill running right in the middle of the pack. We see Bill with a lot of pole starts. Open track right now. He's stuck in the middle of the pack, so it's a holding game. Oh, looks like Dantas. Oh, is it Nolan? Nolan gets in to Bill Hines right there. Nolan just coming in way too hot in that section right there. Just absolutely nowhere left to go. Seeing a lot of trucks already torn up. Most of it cosmetic thus far. Hopefully it stays that way as this race slowly unfolds. But a lot of action so far. Keep in mind, folks, it's supposed to be 3 laps. Mandatory competition caution. 3 more laps. All 4 trucks up on 3 wheels. Sarah Price hangs on it. They go 3 wide.
Here comes the baptism of fire for the Traxxas twins. The Creed truck just breathing a little bit heavier. We saw that during practice this morning. And Sarah Price decides to slot back in behind the 2 and follow the leader for a bit. We're on board with Toby Price, no relation, but our Dakar champion from this year, high above the streets of Surfers Paradise here on lap 3.
All right, now there is Bill Hines. Bill Hines was running so well, he got moved out of the way by Nolan. Meanwhile, this epic battle for second place with like 5 different trucks is allowing Paul Morris to pull away right now.
So this was Dantas fighting the wall, and in the background was Bill Hines, and watch Matt Nolan lock the rears. Hines is doing the same and just gets bench pressed.
I think Hines may, I see what you did there. I think Hines was having some braking problems, but he was going to make it, but then he just got, as you said, bench pressed right there. The truck sponsor of that one, Mike Mel there from World Gym. He might not be too happy with him for that, but Bill Hines hanging on best he can. Dantas all over the place. Really squirrely here in this moto. I think it'd be in his best interest to slow down in order to go fast right now and finish this race.
The pint-sized little racer from Adelaide making his debut is now Sean Richardson gets into Robbie Gordon.
Oh, Richardson gets into Gordon. Moves him out of the way, and you know, right now, I guarantee Sean Richardson, such a great guy. He'd realize right now, he's like, oh no, what did I just do?
You might just say, Robbie, you just go past, I'll follow you for a while.
Absolutely, he's not gonna even want to get out of his truck when he gets back to the paddock later.
Incredible scenes, and it's only the first 3 laps of this race. Watching Creed come down on the back wheels, it's his teammate ahead and championship rival. The background is Sarah Price, here's Dantas. Oh man, no wonder there's so many people up against that fence. lobby to go over there next year and commentate.
No, I'm good right here. Don just getting real squirrely like there. Traxxas on Traxxas, and there we are out for the first of what should be 2 mandatory competition full course cautions. Now this is going to bring the pack back together again. Now this is great for, say, Robbie Gordon or Bill Hines. You know, Bill Hines and Robbie both getting taken out in instances that had nothing to do with them. Now they're stuck all in the back. They can catch up to the pack. But now someone like Paul the Dude Morris, you know, he's got that Hungry Jack Super Cheap truck on rails right now running well, but now they're all caught up. And look at that, PJ Jones, the Royal Purple truck. I have to think some kind of power steering issue with that truck.
A weekend to forget, and there's a moment that Sean Richardson will be thinking about for the rest of the day here. As he just gets into the back of the Hot Wheels Castrol Edge entry that Matt Mingay would normally drive, and Robbie Gord has decided to suit up behind the wheel of this truck and lights the bags and disappears down the streets of Surfers Paradise.
I can only imagine the look on Matt and Sheena Mingay's face right now when they saw that happen right there. You know, Matt say, you know, he's led these races, he's won these races, he's had that happen to him, so nothing new there, but look at Matt. He gets it. I mean, if anyone knows racing, it's this guy right here, and he's been on the good and bad side of everything, so.
Just imagine right now, be going, get me out there, seriously, I can't handle this anymore.
Oh, he's jonesing to be in that truck. Jonesing to be in that truck. There's Bill Hines, that World Gym entry, running very well. Bill, one of the only guys to still, after now going in round 3 of the weekend, to have a clean, good-looking truck with quality finishes. So that speaks a lot for Bill Hines. He led a little while in race number 1. He's kept a clean truck all weekend. And then, of course, you know, he got assisted around when he was minding his own business. So hopefully this mandatory comp caution is going to help him out.
Still yet to win a race in the Spin Energy Stadium Super Trucks, but a couple of podium positions. We've been joking with him all year as much as we can because he can get a little bit upset at times, but we've got him on our side at the moment. He says, more pole positions I get, the more chance of a race win. I remember that race in Toronto this year where he started from pole position. By the time they got down Lakeshore Boulevard, he was 4th.
Yeah, and you know, it just takes time, you know, and more seat time for him. And like you said, you know, sometimes the guys get him wound up and then he's happy again, and that's all of us. I mean, if you hang out with this group of guys, you know, it's like an emotional roller coaster. Everyone just picks on you, then we all laugh, and that's just part of it, man. And you got to have some thick skin to hang out with this group.
How about this guy out in front, Paul Morris, hoping to right the wrongs of what's been a tough weekend. He'll lead us back to the restart here. The first competition caution is in the books, and we get back underway. He's got Matt Brabham, Sheldon Creed, and Sarah Price still running tough there in 4th position.
I mean, this is great news right now for Sheldon Creed. If he can start making some moves and get up there with in front of Paul Morris, we know Robbie Gordon, he's near the back right now. Robbie's got a lot of ground to make up. Can he do it? Of course he can do it, but he's going to need some luck. He's going to make sure that no one else takes him out and moves him out of the way. So right now, Paul Morris out in front, behind him, Traxxas on Traxxas. That is Brabham and Creed. We're on board with our current leader right now. There's a Hungry Jack Super Cheap truck. What a shot back there.
The fans pressed up against the wall on the left-hand side there, right next to the ramp, getting the best view around this Surfers Paradise Street Circuit. It's through the temporary chicane before the ramp at the Virgin Australia chicane.
First through trucks, get through clean right there. I'm going to be really surprised if Matt Brabham's hood stays on this whole race. It's already loosened up. You can see in the faster sections, the hood's blown up, kind of getting in his face now. All it's going to take is a couple bumpers, and that hood's going to be gone as well.
I get the feeling we're seeing a bit of racing between these two, like we saw in Toronto in the first race of the weekend. They ran side by side for the last couple of laps. A lot of respect between these two guys.
Absolutely there is. You know, they're young men. They're super, super talented. And now what's even cooler to throw in the mix, you got Paul Morris, who has the speed to win. He's proven that. He's taken checkered flags here in Super Truck racing, but he's had some bad luck. Now he's out front. He is not going to be an easy guy to get by. He's going to drive like he's got mirrors on. He's got the elbows wide. As right now, Brabham goes to the outside of him, carries some speed, not able to make it happen. So it is right now still the dude, Brabham, Creed, Sarah Price, and Toby Price. They're taking notes from these three, and they're just pulling them along right now. So great racing for all of them.
And very tight across the whole field is now Brabham. He's down the inside. They're side by side on the run down to the chicane. Is Brabham going to muscle his way through? I think yes, and they're going to push the dude off.
Pushes the dude off. Wondering if the dude's going to give him that spot or not. It's going to be questionable. That's going to be something for Jason Smith with USAC and the team from CAMS to decide what's going to happen there. Paul's moving backwards, so he's not getting that spot. That puts Morris back in third. Traxxas on Traxxas, huge air. Watch out, Brabham's flying sideways all weekend long. Sean Richardson has lost some some fiberglass there in the middle of the track. No need for a caution. We're going to run that over.
That's 18 hoods now instead of one. Being crushed up as down they land. How many different angles do you like?
As many as you can think of, and that's what we're getting right here. There is Richardson. He was crossed up there as well.
Oh! Goodness me!
I saw him take off. He was crossed up. We didn't see the landing.
Seriously, that is the fastest spin you've ever seen.
That truck, there's got to be broke. You see the rear end shoved up like that in a concrete wall. Those walls don't give. We saw him get all kinds of sideways off the takeoff, but we didn't see him land. Meanwhile, back on board with the dude. He is right behind Sheldon Creed and Brabham. The dude bumping him just a little bit, moving Sheldon just a little bit. Up on 3 wheels for all of our top, 6 trucks. Just a big torque wheelie, just putting the power to the ground with those Toyo tires.
Incredible stuff on lap number 6. The next competition caution not too far away as we get a bird's eye view from the Paddock Club. They come on by one more time. This race is anybody's at the moment.
Look at Robbie Gordon starting to make up through the pack right now. The rear end of that truck pretty banged up. Got caught up in 2 different instances so far in this race. We are on lap number 7 of 12. Wow, great racing. Creed goes to the inside. Brabham gives a little space. Very gentle, nice and easy, respecting one another. Only for these laps. You got a few laps left to go where the respect will probably go out the window. Creed out in front right now. That's where he needs to be if he wants an overall, and he needs Gordon to stay way in the back. I don't believe that's going to happen.
So much to play out as they come down to the little chicane before the ramp at the Virgin Australia chicane. Across the top go the tracks as twins. Behind them is Toby Price and the dude as Brabham steps out.
Wow, wild racing right there. You see him getting over that section. All kinds of stuff. Every angle a truck could possibly fly, we've seen it happen right on that jump. There is Gordon in the Mingay colors, the Hot Wheels Castrol Edge truck. He gets to the inside, I believe, of Sarah Price. Makes a nice clean move on her. Still on front, Creed, Brabham, Arctic Cat KTM's, Toby Price, Paul the Dude Morris. He's moved back to P4 right now.
2 prices running together as they've done all weekend long. They're no relation, but certainly mega talents from their respective categories as these two just put on a clinic here.
Absolutely. These guys are the Traxxas teammates. The fastest name in radio control are checking out on the pack right now. Toby Price doing everything he can to hang with him, but keep in mind, as long as these guys keep the trucks moving forward, there will be another comp caution coming up. And there we have it, another mandatory competition caution.
Well, let's check out some replays. This will be Richardson coming off the back, and as he gets the wall on the left-hand side, oh man, there was a V8 Utes crash here a couple of years ago involving Adam Marjoram that went into the wall super hard. There was no tyre wall there that day, and about 2 or 3 360s in one hit.
Wow, he never getting out of the gas either. Lucky, so lucky that was a tire wall right there because he hit that hard, fully bottoming out, using every inch of suspension with those King shocks. Up on the gas, can't get out of it, just wide open. Where am I? Got nowhere to go. Wow, that's worth the price of admission right there.
It's tore away.
Positive Quality Trailers truck takes a huge shot. The number 12 of Sean Richardson lands on the gas still, goes into a pirouette, if you will.
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's a bell ringer right there.
Oh, absolutely. A Positive Quality Trailers truck took a big shot right there.
Truck behind him there too. Hard to pick up who that is coming. Is that Dantas?
I think there might be Dantas coming in there as well. But what a wild ride.
Can you imagine if that tire wall wasn't there?
Not only did he bend the bumper mounts, he bent the bumper and snapped part of the bumper off. I don't know if that was from this incident or from when he got into Robbie Gordon earlier today in this race.
This is the landing we saw from behind for Sheldon Creed. Watch the left rear of the truck as it comes down.
Oh, how that truck is still moving forward right now, I don't know. They are built so tough, but something, in some instances, something's got to give. And that was a wild landing. So right now you see the remnants of the first portions of this race right now with Dantas and the Clipsal 500 truck he's pulled off. That is P.J. Jones, son of Parnelli Jones. And Jones in the royal purple number 30, I would imagine has a steering issue. That's what it seemed to be earlier on.
Tough weekend for him.
Yeah, tough weekend for him, and very upsetting because, you know, he's been in a couple different rides this year, and he's put a few different trucks up on the podium. You know, he's proven he's been an overall winner. He's been a multi-time moto winner different weekends, and he can drive anything. And so sad weekend because PJ Jones does not show up just for a Sunday ride. He shows up to win. So we are lap 8 of 12 right now. This is race number 3, the last and final race here in Surfers Paradise. So pretty exciting so far, Matt Nolte.
Settle down for the final sector of this race. I don't know much more I can handle of this.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm a little wound up right now. We got a handful of laps left to go, and this has been absolutely wild. This is Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks presented by Traxxas at its finest as our last and final green flag is off and flying, Matt.
Away we go to the Traxxas twins. Disappear. Championship on the line here between the two guys. Down to the chicane for the first time. We've got Price back in third. Morris is next. They eat the curb down there at the Gold Coast chicane.
Now, every one of these guys are doing their best to eat the curb because there has been penalties now handed out. Sean Richardson, he lost a point, an overall weekend point for cutting the curb yesterday. Still awarded his 3rd place, but lost an overall weekend point. So these guys are not in a position to do that, especially Creed, Brad, and Gordon, these guys that are running for overalls right now. So they've got to be smart. Look at Sean Richardson still digging in that truck. Oh, I believe that might have been Creed.
It was. And that's going to be looked at. Jason Smith from USAC is going to be looking at that very, very hard indeed.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to say anything. You know, I'm not going to speculate right now, but it's going to be something along the lines of after the race, Jason Smith's hand's going to be on Sheldon's shoulder and saying, hey, little buddy, I'm sorry, but... So we'll see what happens here. It depends. I'm not making that call. That's not our job to do.
Oh, no, it's Brabham.
Brabham gets it.
So we take that back.
Wow.
We're so close to the initial look.
Yeah, it's hard to see these, you know, these two Traxxas trucks, Creed and Brabham, they're on top of each other right now. So Creed gets through clean. Brabham does just tag it. So that's going to be upsetting. There's going to be some form of penalty assessed for that.
So close for so long. They've been glued to each other for majority of this race. Creed, Brabham, Toby Price, your top 3. But it's Robbie Gordon who won yesterday. What a sight from our Virgin Australia Paddock Club. They zip on by on lap number 9.
I tell you now, Robbie Gordon, he's had fastest qualifying twice this weekend. So he has the speed. Oh, Brabham the inside. Creed gets pushed over a little bit, not able to make it happen, cuts that curb. A lot going on right there. We're going to see if there'll be any type of penalty there. I mean, that was kind of, you know, a give and take right there. They were helping each other cheat the system. So we'll see what happens. But like I was mentioning, Gordon, very fast in qualifying. He might have what it takes to get up and run with these guys.
Now, while they continue to battle, this is bringing Toby Price and Robbie Gordon all that little bit closer to it. As down to the chicane they come, it's cleared it out, so it makes this even faster now. Oh, my goodness.
Brabham, just wide open. Now, here's the thing. He really doesn't have any choice. Sheldon Creed will not lift. He will not lift off that jump. Oh, Gordon goes to the inside, and Toby Price not making it happen. Gordon almost spins out. Is the dude able to capitalize as he is? Paul the Dude Morris gets to the inside, makes that happen. We saw Brabham there, huge air. The thing is, if he wants any chance in winning this race, Brabham has to hit it wide open because Sheldon Creed, he's not going to lift. He won't. He's going to hit it wide open.
Look how high above the fence it is.
Wow. Matty Brabs right there. That's a postcard. I'm sending that home to the family. Welcome to the Gold Coast.
Oh, it's hit the chassis at the front as well.
Oh, and sparks are flying. I tell you, it's a good thing this is the last race in Australia for these trucks because they're going to need some TLC. When they get home, Brabham flying all kinds of crooked right now. The white flag is out. This is the last and final lap.
Down to the chicane again. Pinches the right front through the Gold Coast chicane. The two Traxxas twins turning it up to 11 on the final lap here.
Oh, my goodness. These guys are just wide open right now, just out on their own. Toby Price in P3 and the Arctic Cat Wildcat 1000 truck, the KTM on the back of it. Right now, Traxxas and Traxxas back and forth right here in the front. What a battle. I can't lie to you, Matt Nolte. I'm a little nerved up going into this jump section.
You are. Stand back. Through they come, high-speed approach across the Traxxas ramp, and again it's another one from Brabham. He had to do it, and now he's right on the back of the 2015 champ. Make or break moment here.
No fear whatsoever from these two young Traxxas drivers. Brabham to the inside, smoke off both of their tires. Bump on 3 wheels right now, headed towards the checkered flag. Only a few turns left to go, Matt.
Through they come. So he's got a couple of chances. It'll be the run out of here and down to the Castrol hairpin. Past the wall cam on the final time, right against the wall. A race for the ages here at Surfers Paradise. He locks the brakes again. He's trying to defend the bottom line. And now Brabham tries to switch back.
Brabham tries to go to the inside. 3 wheels of good feels. They bring it down to the checkered flag. Traxxas on Traxxas. One last chicane. I'm expecting some huge explosive air coming off this Toyo Tire and Traxxas ramps. That chicane gets moved as well. Under control. Hang on, fellas. The checkered flag is out. Sheldon Creed, P1. Matty Brabham, P2. What an amazing race right there.
Wow. Put that above Toronto as the best race of the year. Incredible. They've done it again. And Sheldon Creed wins for the second time this weekend at Surfers Paradise. And 12 wins to the season. The Traxxas twins putting on an absolute show here today.
Just unbelievable. Just some wild, wild racing there. And give it to almost the majority of the guys out there ran really well. They kind of kept their stuff together and were able to make it happen.
Replay across the backside of the circuit. Incredible, but he had to do it. He pushed as hard as he could down here. Creed was locked up for at least 100 metres. Brabham almost spun the number 83 truck down and almost got into the back of him.
Oh my goodness, wild race. I mean, kudos to both of these drivers for hanging on there as best they can. There is Sheldon Creed just smoking those Toyo tires off right now.
Don't you think the fans love it?
I believe that would be win number 12 this year for Sheldon Creed. So extremely impressive. See Robbie Gordon, Creed, all out there having a great time.
Gordon just loves turning it on. Oh, nice little shot around here. Gordon moving back up to the backside of the chicane. Creed, Brabham and Price, your top 3 here in the final race for the Australian Series. They'll be back in 2017 on the streets of Adelaide. Just listen to that crowd. Toby Price, another solid drive for the Dakar champ aboard the number 87 KTM machine. But Creed, less than half a second ahead of Brabham. It was Price 3rd, Gordon in 4th, Morris 5th, Sarah Price in 6th, then Greg Gardner, Sean Richardson, down to Matt Nolan and Craig Dontis, who retired after the 2nd competition caution, and PJ Jones, who dropped out, we fear, with steering issues once again in race number 3 of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks.